are such an asshole.
This article was sent by one of our banking agents in the field. I don't know if he's actually in banking. Okay, one of our agents in the field sent me an article about banking, and I love it because it tells it, guys, I'm not joking. I don't hate bankers because I had to work with them. I hate them because once again, they are lazy dude bros who want engineer money but don't want to put in engineer work. They're the big idea guys, and you guys figure out the little stuff. I don't say it because I hate bankers. I hate bankers, and I say it because it's true. Bankers are selected for laziness and low intelligence. That's it. Are there some smart bankers out there? There must be. I mean, there's millions of them. One or two got to be smart. But generally, and ladies, I don't know. It's maybe even getting out there that, you know what, doctors and lawyers meant something. Now lawyers are just a bunch of financially crippled dweebs with student law school debt. Like lawyers aren't all, they're not as guaranteed. It's the same thing with bankers. Bankers they have largely been replaced by automated software. So let's go into this. Good afternoon, Aaron. A few months ago, I finished listening to the Audible version of Behind the Housing Crash, which I have linked below, which is a very interesting account, especially when paired with movies like Margin Call and books like The Big Short to give the community bank perspective of the housing crash. We started hearing about banking sector issues in all levels of the country, stemming from questionable loans or increased interest rates on debt refinancing and such. One story that I've been following was was the First National Bank of Lindsay failure because it was in Oklahoma, my home state, and it was a small community bank, less than 100 million assets, and there was a swirl of fraud allegations coming from the failure. Thank you. My book, Behind the Housing Crash, was more Main Street ma and pa banks. The big news was Lehman Brothers going bankrupt and Morgan Stanley and not student loan bailouts, corporate bailouts, $1 trillion, well, 787 billion, which by today's numbers would probably be almost $2 trillion. How the banks and the secondary market would buy, repackage, and sell mortgage-backed or asset-backed securities to unsuspecting hedge funds, or I'm sorry, not hedge funds, pension funds, maybe some hedge funds too. And then how no one along the entire chain, where it was starting at my desk at some rink-a-dink community bank and go fuck your sister Wyoming. It's a town, actually, by the way. All the way up to where that mortgage would have been sold on the secondary market, packaged in with others, and they were all dog shit. And not one except me. I know I did my job, but all the way up that chain, no one did their due diligence. No, well, some people might have tried, but they were shot down by the big wigs who were like, we got to repackage this and sell it because I get commission. bro, I'm a big idea guy, bro. Yeah, small community banks were part of that too. Matter of fact, I don't remember ever seeing a smallish community bank that actually had good finances. Not once in my career did I ever see a bank have good finance, small community bank have good finances. Didn't see it. Swirl of allegations coming from the failure. Now some more information has come out about it and is turning into a big mess, as now the city of Lindsay, population 12,000, about 50 miles from Oklahoma City, failed an audit, and some of their people are connected to the bank failure, including a self-deletion. Ooh, saucy. I loves me the good stories about when the house of cards falls down and the man who thought he was a big bro ends up thinking the best option is permanently ending the game. It almost reads like an addendum to your book. Okay, so this is, now keep in mind, this isn't, the housing crisis is long over. So I'm kind of curious what this is. This is from nondoc.com. November 11th, amid bank failure, City of Lindsay audit reveals gross mismanagement. So did the city have their finances tied up with this bank? Let's find out. Update, November 26th. Former First National Bank of Lindsay President Danny Siebel submitted a 2-page response to the civil lawsuit filed by Jack Justice. The following article about the City of Lindsay audit and the bank failure remains in its original form. How long is this? It's enough. This won't be too long, but I'm sure it has to. We have to set up the story here. Already facing turmoil with the federal takeover of a failed local bank and the seemingly related ending of life of a prominent community. Oh, community leaders. Fuck your community leaders. Fuck you. I'm sure community leader, right. The city of Lindsay was further rocked Wednesday with the release of a new audit that found significant mismanagement of municipal finances. Oh, it is? It did affect the city from July 1st, 2019 to June 30th, 2022. Oklahoma State Auditor and Inspector Cindy Bird conducted the forensic audit at the request of District Attorney Greg Mashburn, whose jurisdiction covers Cleveland, Garvin, and McLean counties. State officials wrote in the report that Garvin County City, about 50 miles south of Oklahoma City, experienced substantial financial difficulties during the audit period that were primarily caused by the city council's failure to provide adequate oversight along with poor financial decisions made by city management. Well, what does this have to do with the bank? So far, this just sounds like city council people fucking up the job. The warning signs were there, but no one was looking, Bird said in a press release accompanying the audit report. Lindsay's elected leaders have a legal obligation to oversee the city's finances. Instead, the city's financial mismanagement was exacerbated by ineffectual leadership that failed to maintain records and oversee city functions. As a result, Lindsay's taxpayers have been shortchanged by hundreds of thousands of dollars. But bro, he got boats, bro. Tell me there's a middle-aged guy with graying chest hair who wore a medallion. Zorba the Swede, I called him back in the Minnesota days. It's not his real name. He was Swedish, but he was always tan. And I think he went belly up too. I don't even know if that guy's alive anymore. Short by hundreds of thousands of dollars. Auditors detailed numerous findings of the 25-page report, such as underbilling commercial customers for utilities, holding tax revenue earmarked for the Lindsay Public Works Authority and incorrect bank accounts, and failing to undergo audits. Additionally, Bird's office said, this is a town of 12,000 people. The finances shouldn't be that hard. Vlad Elkins could do it on his own. Additionally, Bird's office said town officials spent tens of thousands of dollars with little oversight or approval from the Lindsay City Council. On what? While we found countless examples of deficient oversight, mismanagement, and poor decision-making, we classified less than 2,000 of expenditures as fraudulent. Okay, so these are just dumb people. I could see that too. I'm not kidding. When I worked in the banks, the vast majority of the bankers there were just dumb. They weren't malicious. So there's some that were, but the vast majority of them were just dumber than fuck. On a very good note, the city of Lindsay is working to resolve the issues we discovered and appears to have turned the corner financially. The city has caught up on its audits, is now fully eligible to apply for grant money. New Lindsay City Manager Sally Jantz, who took the position in July of 2023, a year after the $1 million municipal budget deficit was identified. $1 million budget deficit at a city of 12,000? We currently have fixed as many of the problems that we have been able to identify to this point or in the process of fixing, Jantz told Non-Doc. As we find the things, we correct them. We are trying to do things the right way. Lindsay audit released weeks after a bank failure. Okay, here's where the bank comes in. I hope. The audit comes as a 2,800-person community is still reeling from the October 18 forced closure of First National Bank of Lindsay by the U.S. Office of Comptroller of the Currency. Known as the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation was named as receiver, and all the bank's assets were transferred to the Duncan-based First Bank and Trust Company. According to the FDIC press release, the bank's failure stemmed from alleged fraud, and deposit insurance fund may have to cover $43 million. Oh my God. A little rinky-dink bank town with 2,800 people. I don't know where the 12,000 people came in. About 7.1 million of the bank's deposits exceeded FDIC insurance limits. Based on the estimated recoveries of the failed bank assets, the FDIC will make 50% of uninsured funds available to those depositors. The release stated, this amount could increase as the FDIC sells assets of the failed bank. The First National Bank of Lindsay had been in operation for more than 100 years prior to its failure, although its website's about page has simply stated more information coming soon for several years. Three weeks before the bank's closure, Vice President Clint Simonton died by self-deletion. Oh, Clint, what happened, buddy? What happened? What was your I see, that's what I'd love to know. I'd love to know. And we don't know for a fact. We'll have to wait for the but I'm gonna guess your little house of cards taking other people's money, not investing it wisely, and just spending it on, oh, I don't know, lifestyle shit. This is just my guess. And then you had to tell wifey poo and kidsy poos that you weren't the big bro you all portrayed yourself as. And instead of that, you just couldn't have. Wow. Oh, that's too bad, man. That's just too bad. Husband and father, Simonton had been an active community leader and former Lindsay School board member. His lengthy bitch. Oh, I gotta know. I gotta know. NBA, bro? Bro! Did you play football in high school, bro? Oh, he's not an old guy. I thought he'd be an old boomer. Maybe this is because I'm biased that way. Blah, 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 Will Faith, a character. He's a wonderful senator, you know, blah, blah, blah. Favorite entertainment. Bah. So proud to wear number 61 on the Friday Night Lights with all of his best friends lined up behind us. The team may have not. Okay, football, bro. Shark, bro. Bro. I'm not against baseball and football, by the way. I'm just sick and tired of the NPCs. Associate's degree, okay. What do you have a degree in? Associate's degree in what? Cramming. Graduate bachelor's degree in journalism, broadcast, and public relations? Oh. Speaker. Yeah, you want this guy in charge. Okay. Bullshit. His lengthy obituary said he was not without his faults, was quick to apologize and to forgive. I don't give a fuck. Somewhere in there he stole money. Can I assume that? He took other people's money. Yes? Clint was a proud American and patriot. He was a conservative and a great passion for talking politics, the obituary states. He loved reading about American, what is this? And discovery and the wars. He loved discussing it and dreamed of traveling the route of the Lewis and Clark expedition. He loved this country and all the freedom. What did he do? Don't tell me this shit. I could find my old boss's obituary. I probably because he's dead. The guy was a fat, lying, dopey fuck. That's it. He died early because he was fat. Under investigation, not because he was too stupid to be a criminal. It's because of incompetence. I bet you his obituary reads real flowery too. He loved the kind of especially the right to bear arms. That he did just that everywhere he met. He probably broke a few laws, but fuck off. But he was always ready to defend the people he loved. That's just who he was. Sure, until something happened. The Lindsay's bank failure, the second in America this year, has drawn national attention with one commentary remarking on the FDIC's decision to reimburse only 50% of the uninsured deposits. Well, that's what the rules are, isn't it? In 2023, when Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank both failed amid a downturn in the tech industry, the FDIC made all depositors 100% whole, regardless of whether their accounts had more than $250,000 in them. You've heard of too big to fail, the commentator said. Well, this one is too small to care. That's the reality of the FDIC. Oklahoma Representative Cynthia Rowe, Republican Lindsay, shared a similar thought. I would just hope that the small rural Oklahoma banks can get the same fair treatment to their. Here's my concern. Right, if it's mom and pa. But if Billy Bob, Bobby, Billy, real estate developer, dude, bro, small penis, dick cock. I understand. I maybe haven't paid my bills on time. Like if that fucker has say is it still 250,000? I don't know. Let's say he has 750,000. It's 250,000 for the. Fuck you. You lose your $500,000. Like if they're tied up in this, that would happen on a lot of these community banks. It's like, well, we need your depository relationships with us. What depository relationships? Yeah, if the criminals aren't involved, fuck it. You don't get insured above and beyond. Go fuck yourself. Amid widespread speculation about the report fraud that caused the bank failure, former majority shareholder Jack Justice filed a lawsuit October 25th against the former president and CEO Danny Siebel and his wife Deborah Siebel. Oh, I love it when family members get involved. A community leader himself. Fuck you. Justice owns Revace Pharmacy in Pauls Valley. Reached Thursday, Justice said he did not want to comment on the case and directed inquiries to his daughter, Julie Justice, who is an attorney. She confirmed that her father is no longer involved with the bank. Our family's been through a lot with this. I'm sure you have. What did you do? And not you, but what did your family do? We're just trying to move on with our lives. Yeah, it depending on what is found with the investigation. Again, I don't want to accuse anyone. If it's found you stole millions of dollars and fucked up the community, no, your family doesn't just get to move on. I know I set fire to the house and kicked your kitten and made off with your wife, but that was in the past. That was last week. Yeah, see, it was in the past. You just gotta get over it. We just want to move on. In his petition, which the Siebels have yet to answer, Jack Justice accused the two defendants of fraud and civil conspiracy. Justice said Danny Siebel routinely lied to him and other bank directors and encouraged other bank employees to do the same. Justice also alleged that Siebel took cash and property from the bank and presented him with false bank records. So there's embezzlement accusations. Oh yeah, see, that was 5 minutes ago. What do you live in the past? Come on. Justice was also alleged that Siebel took care. Okay. As a result of the fraud and misrepresentation by Danny and Deborah, Justice has suffered actual and consequential loss as a direct result of misrepresentation, assurances, and non-disclosures of Danny and Deborah in the amount of excess of $10 million. The petition states. Justice also alleged that Danny Siebel routinely would not show up for work and would spend significant amounts of time at various casinos and bars with his spouse. In the company of convicted felons, activities that were concealed by Danny and others from Justice and Department of others and directors and shareholders of the bank. A native of Holbert, whose career in First National Bank of Lindsay began with a 1992 internship, Siebel did not return a phone call seeking comment prior to the publication of this article. On his Twitter and Facebook page, Siebel has regularly posted pro-Trump and anti-Democrat rhetoric, although he has said little since mid-August. Yeah, I don't know what the politics has to do with this. Kamala wants to make you believe corporations are price gouging you on food costs, Siebel wrote on August 15th. Well, we'll see. Well, let's see. The farmer that plows and prepares the land is paying much more for diesel to operate the tractor, much more for seed, much more for fertilizer, much for like blah, 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 blah. They say it's a corporation. Give me a damn break. Vote Trump and drill, baby, drill. Energy cost reduction, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so he's a Republican. Both the bank failure and the state audit have drawn rumors and critical posts on a Facebook page dedicated to Lindsay. This town is full of crooks, one man commented October 21st, post about how the city had moved money out of the bank shortly before its closure. Well, that's good that the city moved their money out of that bank. Chance, the city manager, had explained the situation hours earlier at the Lindsay City Council meeting. Last week, we had an incident where we had some of our collateral had been sold. And I went back to the bank and said, we're not covered, Jance said. I said, yeah, you are. I said, no, we're not covered. I have to have monies covered. And they called me back then later in the week and said, you're not going to be able to cover it. I'm going to tell you, aspiring bankers, finance guys now. First, change your degree to accounting. Second, never work in banking. The days a bit, it's over. It's all streamlined now. There's software, there's automated underwriting. I mean, my God, 25, 30 years. God, how long was it? My first model I programmed, I was 23? How old? Why can't I do math? That's a long time ago. That is 20, over a quarter century ago. It was an Excel spreadsheet. It wasn't anything. I mean, it was elaborate, but wasn't complicated. Could have done that a quarter century ago. About the same time, y'all could have started letting us work from home. We didn't have to commute no more. I had the switch right there. I don't like the shading of your charts. You never work at banks. It's over. They got automated underwriting. There's no bank manager. If you're an underwriter, like I don't even know if they got like now where they just scan it online with a 1040 form. It's somewhat standardized. Don't work for community bank. Don't work for any bank. No reason to work there. He said, the comment section Facebook drew a range of reactions with some who voiced concerns about being told they were welcome to leave town. That attitude prompted sharp rebukes. Not everyone has the funds to pick up and move from a corrupt town, one woman wrote. Only problem now is Lindsay can't cover it up with the feds involved. Some of us moved here not knowing how bad it was. And this is just the beginning of what goes down. Rowe eventually chimed in herself to defend the city's new leaders, which include her husband, Councilman Vern Rowe. He was elected in 2022. She was elected to the House in 2018. A new city council immediately got rid of the problem that caused the city's financial woes, and we have a new city manager now that is actually doing a fantastic job and has remedied a lot of the issues Cynthia Rowe wrote. When you have a city manager that was not reconciling bank statements and, in fact, not even opening them, it's hard to know what your finances are. The city's getting things turned around, but when you are in debt like the city was, it doesn't turn around overnight. Here, this is a good gal. Listen to this. A nurse practitioner working extra shifts in Pauls Valley on Thursday. See, she's a real gal. Rowe cautioned people to wait for the truth to come out before believing everything written by keyboard warriors on Facebook. I just hate it for the community. And then you get all the people in the community that are bad-mouthing everybody. There's just a lot of speculation and rumors of people trying to guess what really happened, Rowe said. I think it's going to be a very long time before we have a lot of answers over the bank. Rowe called Simonton's death unfortunate, and he said he's one of the nicest guys you would ever meet. I don't give a shit. Oh, he's nice. You know how many good old boy. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. You don't understand now. You know, all of us were into sister fucking down here in Wyoming. He only fucks his cousin. That's a step above. It's great above us normal Wyomingians. And even though he's got himself a negative 327 credit score, we're still going to prove that long. He's a good guy, good man, got character. Can you tell him to get his dick out of the cattle? I mean, that's our collateral he's offering, right? Is that his cattle? I don't know. Is he fucking somebody else's cattle? You never knew in Wyoming. Hey, that's Jessup Jefferson's cattle. Get your dick out of that. She also praised Jack Justice. Jack is one of the most community-oriented people you've ever met. He does so much. She also called James Lizzie Newman a rock star, making means an electric would caused $1.5 million underbilling on commercial customers. The city expects to recover $676,000 of that amount. In terms of the bank failure, Jantz said the city is dealing with issues similar to those faced by citizens. Anytime something like that happens in a community, it's tough, Jantz said. We had city accounts in the bank, so, obviously it did affect us, but we are getting our stuff taken care of, and I'm sure that's what a lot of people are having to deal with. Well, there you go. Trouble in Paradise, another little community bank. Yeah, look, just avoid HR, avoid academia, avoid journalists, avoid bankers. Like, I not only in terms of your career profession, but just avoid those people in general. Why would you be friends with someone who's a banker? Honestly, unless they got their shit together, it's rare, but unless they got their shit together, most bankers are scum. Not because they're like making money or fat. Quite the opposite. It's just like, you guys are a bunch of fucking posers. You just don't want to work. You want your 6 figs without 6 figs working. Stealing and dealing and wheeling and selling. Fuck off. Fuck off. We got a super chat. Ken says hi for $5. Thanks, Ken. That's it. Link below, my book, Behind the Housing Crash. You want to see how really dumb bankers are? Go there. Check it out. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.